Good morning and welcome to the channel. My name is Michael for ClubLexus.com. I am up here in Angeles Crest with the brand new 2022 Lexus IS 500 F Sport Performance. That's right, it's not quite an F Sport and it's not quite a true F. What Lexus has done is they've started with the IS 350 F Sport with the dynamic handling package. They've swapped out the wheels, they've added bigger brakes and a few suspension components, and they've dropped in the drivetrain from the RCF, the 2UR GSE 5-liter V8, making 472 horsepower at 7,100 RPM and 395 foot-pounds of torque. Guys, this one is going to be a little bit different because I am obviously not sitting in front of a Lexus. The loaner vehicle had to go back before I found out what the pricing was on this particular car. Unlike other IS models, you're not going to be able to pick out specific options and features that go with your IS. You're only going to be able to buy one of three different trims. The base model, which starts at $56,500 plus $1,075 for destination and delivery, bringing the total price to $57,575. Jumping up next, we have the premium edition, which starts at $61,000. Add in destination and delivery, and you're at $62,075. And last but not least, we have the exclusive launch edition, which is $67,400 plus destination and delivery, brings you up to $68,475. What are the big differences between the three different models? The one that we're reviewing in this particular review is a premium model. It's the non-special edition, but it has every single feature available. The difference between the base and the premium is that the base lacks the intelligent clearance sonar and panoramic view monitor. That's kind of your 360-degree camera. There's no power rear sunshade, which is whatever. There's no triple beam headlights, which is, again, kind of a hit or miss for me. They look great, but I don't know if it's worth $1,000. And then the other thing that's going to be missing from the base is the navigation with the Mark Levinson package. So you get the whole nav, big screen, 1800 watt sound system. And again, it sounds very good for this model year, but not quite as excellent as what you hear in the flagship models like the LS500. The launch edition adds in a serial number plaque, so you get one of 500 of those. You're going to get an exclusive incognito gray exterior, which is kind of like a Nardo gray. You get an exclusive two-tone interior throughout the car, and you're going to get the dark black BBS wheels that are from the IS 350 F Sport's dynamic handling package. So those are the big differences between the three models. Diving into the review itself, I am joined by Michelle, a Club Lexus forum member who owns this lovely 2008 Lexus ISF. My goal here was to take a look at where the IS 500 comes from. Yes, it's an F Sport performance model. It's not a true F, so this is not an apples to apples comparison, but I thought it would be really interesting to take a look at both cars side by side. And Michelle here has done a few mods with his headlights and his taillights to make his 2008 look a little bit more like the 2021 refresh. But Michelle's car is relatively stock. He's got a cold air intake and he's done a little bit with the exhaust tips, but the entire exhaust, the rest of it is stock. The engine's ECU tune is stock, the transmission and so forth. He also has lowering springs and slightly wider tires on stock wheels. So after talking to Michelle about his car, we compared the visuals of them, we sat in the seats, and then it was time for us to drive both cars. First we rode in Michelle's slightly modded ISF, and then we went ahead for our drive in the IS 500, which is the conversation you're about to see right now. I'm going to put mine into custom mode. So this is sport, acceleration, and comfortable shocks.
All right.
All right.
Give it a whirl.
That's the test pothole.
There's definitely a lot of potholes on this one.
Yeah, exactly. So, a lot more body roll, and then let me put it into Sport S Plus, which will be sport acceleration and sport handling. And it definitely tightens it up.
It sure does.
A good measure.
Yeah, you don't feel a little you don't feel that wiggle as much.
Right. Michelle, what are your first impressions in stepping between your 2008 ISF and the 2022 IS 500 F Sport Performance?
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is going around these corners, the seats kind of hug you a little bit more. So I really like the seats. I do feel a little bit of a power gain in this car, of course. I mean, it's only 60 extra horses compared to my car, but I feel it. It's a little punchier. So I really like that aspect. And, the handling is actually not bad, especially stock, and especially not being an F model.
Yeah, I agree. I really have to commend you for the mods you made, and just Lexus Toyota in general for how good your car still is. It's, I guess I forgot, I was saying 13 earlier, but this is actually 14 model years different, 2022 versus 2008.
True. Yes.
You don't even have the LSD and stuff, and your car feels quick, and it feels really, really well composed in the corners, still better than this in the corners. But again, I think this one has a little bit more rumble to the exhaust, which isn't saying much. And
yes, it does.
And I think it's a little bit more comfortable, like a little bit smoother.
Yes.
A little bit more isolated from the road, which is a good thing and a bad thing for, good thing for day to day, bad for the type of driving we're doing right now.
Right, exactly.
Not horrible bad, but not great. But, generally speaking, this is a fun, capable car. I've got it in Sport S Plus mode. I'm not even doing the manual shifting. It's keeping the revs high. It knows kind of where we want to do. The brakes are really good. Again, they're not carbon ceramic RCF Fuji Speedway Edition.
Right.
Amazing, but they're very, very good. Oh yeah, I mean, this is a really good amount of power. It'll be kind of shocking if the rumors are true and there's going to be something twin turbocharged with more power. This is just a lovely balance. Anyway, Michelle and I were talking, and I really think that this car with, you mentioned rear sway bars, but with a shock and, there we go. Oh yeah, holding the shifts really nicely. Did you see that?
Oh yeah.
I was like, am I in manual mode? Oh no. No, but with a little bit wider tires. Again, I'd like to. These Potenzas really impressed me. And this 0 to 60, I can tell you, don't tell anybody. But 0 to 60 on this, I did it in 4.67 seconds. That's real world on a regular road in Mexico. No, just kidding. Real world testing, 4.67, which is faster than my Boss 302 with Michelin tires, by the way, with my favorite tires. So these Potenzas impressed me. They're gripping now. They're nice, soft, and compliant. Not too much road noise.
No, not at all.
And yeah, I think you solved the body roll with this. Maybe some lowering springs, maybe some sway bars or something.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a tweak.
Yep.
Wider tires. I think this thing, it would just be a blast. And of course, I think my number one complaint, and this is a legitimate one, this isn't a tweak, I think the exhaust is kind of lame. I think I'd like to see some type of active valve exhaust option from Lexus so that you could have it exactly like this, which is, I think the issue is that you're hearing more induction noise than you are hearing actual exhaust note.
But at the same time, you don't want it too loud because you still want to hear the engine.
No, 100%.
Yes.
Like, I'm not, like, whenever I have that note about louder exhaust, people are like, what do you want to do, straight pipe it? And not at all. Like, I'm a tone guy. I want just the, a little bit more involvement, a little bit more excitement to the driving experience. I benchmark every Lexus experienced on the LC500, which is probably a terrible thing to do because it's a $112,000 convertible. Just the tonal experience when you're in that, the way it rev matches when you downshift. And that's just all factory stock. There's nothing aftermarket about it. That is the perfect sonic experience for a Lexus, I think. And obviously the convertible helps because there's nothing in the way. But I just think that the RCF, the same, this, you could just get just a little bit more tone and a little bit more exhaust if you wanted.
I agree.
Driving this back to back with a sports car, dedicated sports car Mustang is a fascinating experience because they're very similar engines. But basically the Mustang Mach-1, particularly with the handling package, is 1000% a sports car and a track car that happens to be comfortable on the normal road. The Lexus philosophy I'm interpreting as this is a luxury sedan that is plush and capable and soft and luxurious, and then it can accelerate and do a little bit more of the fun, even though this is only about 0.3 of a second slower to 60 than that Mach 1 with much bigger and much better kind of track tires, you know?
Yes.
So it's hanging out.
I think it's awesome. You got the best of both worlds. Like you said, exhaust tone could just be a tad louder, but not much. And I think minor upgrades like tires and maybe a little bit of suspension tweaks here and there is going to be perfect. You can even track this car.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is this a good value? Now, the great news, of course, is that you can buy an IS500 base model for under $60,000, you know, about $7,500 cheaper than a base model RCF. In comparing the IS500 to the IS350, for that extra 150 horsepower, you're paying about $7,500 to upgrade from a similarly equipped 350 to the premium IS500, and you're paying about $8,500. Now, this is all based on Lexus building and pricing, so it could be a little bit off there, but about $8,500 to go from a similarly equipped rear-wheel drive V6 IS350 to the base IS500. So $7,500, $8,500 is pretty much in line with how these things work. When you look at Mustangs, for example, stepping up from the base engine, in this case the EcoBoost, up to the Coyote V8, which is pretty similar to the 2UR GSE, you're spending about $8,000, $10,000 to do that as well. So it's pretty much in line with this type of power bump, and I think it's a much better idea than trying to hot rod your V6. I think you step up to the V8, you spend that money now, it comes with a warranty, it's going to be reliable, it's got a Toyota engine, it's going to last forever, and of course with a little bit of exhaust mods, it's going to sound amazing. So that's the big difference. What do you guys think? Where does this fit into your expectations? $57,575 to start, plus tax and title. $62,075 as equipped in this review with every option that you can get on the IS500. Then, of course, the launch edition, which is almost $70,000. I think the car looks super cool, and I love those wheels, and I like this incognito gray, but I think that's a little bit too much for this car, given its handling and its power levels for that, for this amount of power. That being said, I think overall, the base and the premium IS500, I think they're priced right, particularly compared to the V6 and compared to Lexus's other V8 offerings. And so I think Lexus did a good job. What do you guys think about the pricing? Let me know in the comments down below or in our forum threads. All right, folks, wrapping up things with the 2022 Lexus IS500 F-Sport Performance. I'm stuck in a little bit of traffic, and I've been giving it a thought about what this car really represents. Now, a few caveats. Obviously, I don't think it's perfect. I would rather, personally, that this had the black wheels that the launch edition has. I wish it had a little bit less body roll, or probably a lot less body roll, but I do admire that it's a very comfortable car, and I wish it had a more evocative exhaust note. But overall, though, guys, I think it's a ton of fun to drive, particularly in the Sport Plus mode. I think the transmission really learns what you want to do. The more aggressive you are, the more it rewards you with kind of a racing style driving and shifting experience, which is pretty cool. It's very smart, even though it's not as good as the 10-speed in the LC. In terms of a world where sedans are king, it's gone. A world where the V8 in rear-wheel drive is king, that's basically gone. Everything now is a crossover. Everything's getting turbocharged, whether it be a 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, hybrid, electric. Look, the electric future is going to be very exciting and very quick, albeit silent. But a rear-wheel drive 4-door sedan, it's basically this and the Dodge Charger. Am I missing anything else that's naturally aspirated, you guys? Let me know in the comments if I've missed anything just off the top of my head. That they obviously have 2 engine trains, but with this much power and torque and this weight, I think that this IS500 is up there with the 392 equipped Hemis, the larger of the 2 engines, your various Scat Packs and this and that. In 2021, the IS500 is a unicorn, you guys. You know, it's a car that shouldn't exist and will very soon not exist, but it's one of the last ones. I hope this is hugely successful. I hope you guys go out and buy a bunch of them, because I think even though it's not gonna blow anybody's pants off, and even though it's not super amazing, it's not the best car ever, it's really special. In many ways, I think it delivers on the promise of the formula. Compact sedan, powerful engine that likes to rev, and with a few mods, a few simple mods, I think you've got one of the coolest sleepers anywhere. I suppose you could call it a downside that the Lexus IS in general is pretty invisible. You know, it's just another Lexus. They're pretty popular here in Los Angeles. Nobody looks at them. They don't stick out. They don't say sports car. But I think that's kind of cool. Like, a lot of people are buying that Chevy SS now, used, because nobody bought them because it was just this kind of sleeper car. But I think the Lexus designs, they're way cooler than how that Chevy looks. I love the modern Lexus design, these swooping hips and the mean grille, the blacked out emblems, the blacked out trim. Like, this car looks really cool, even though it's not like, you know, it's not eye-catchy, you know, it's a sleeper. It's a comfortable, luxurious daily commuter that when you mash the pedal, you will rock it forward, and you know, you've got yourself a sports sedan. And I really enjoyed my time with it. So thank you so much, Lexus, for the loan. I hope you guys are all well and safe. We will see you on the next video. And you know, please like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff. I'll put our links down to our socials in the description below, and I will see you on the next video. But first, we're gonna do a little tunnel testing. Well, she's quick. No exhaust note though. Tunnel test fail.